afternoon and welcome to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin in a rematch of Super Bowl II. The all-time Oakland Raiders against the all-time Green Bay Packers. Kenny Bach alongside Matthew King here from Lambeau Field, and away we go from Titletown. Clem Daniels on the kickoff return for the Raiders past the 20 all the way out to the 24. That brings onto the field the Oakland Raider offense led by Kenny Stabler. And if you talk about quarterback with improvisation, no one does it better than Kenny.
Oh, Ken Stabler, one of a kind, and he can torch a defense. He finds the weak spot, and he's just going to rely on it. He's not going to try to do too much, but man, he's good whenever he wants to pick up the tempo and kind of take the ball game over.
Super Bowl champion in 1976 with the Raiders. First down play action fake to Marcus Allen. Stabler's pass finds Fred Biletnikoff through the middle, enough for a Raider first down.
Again, they like the intermediate passes. Green Bay's going to have to kind of go away from the zone, maybe get a little bit aggressive with man coverage.
Opening possession of the game, Raiders in the thick of a playoff spot. Stabler throws one to the sideline out of bounds. A look at the Oakland offense. Plenty of Hall of Fame talent galore, which includes Marcus Allen, Tim Brown on one flank, and Fred Biletnikoff on the other end for the Raiders. Team that has won 3 Super Bowls during their time. As the Raiders set up 2nd and 10 from their own 37. Stabler, clean pocket, finding Fred Biletnikoff for a short gain, and we look at the Green Bay Packers defense, and there are so many stars to highlight.
Yeah, I mean, which way do you want to go? Reggie White, maybe the greatest lineman of all time, and then they've got dogs in the secondary as well. There is no real weak spot on this Packers defense.
3rd and 3 upcoming for the Raiders, looking to keep the drive alive. And on 3rd and 3, Tim Brown goes in motion. Stabler looks to the air, and the snake finds Marcel Reese out of the backfield, enough for a Raider first down.
There's that 2 men out there in the flank, one to catch the pass and then one to be that distraction. Just get in the way of the defender, opens up that second chance for Reese to get some extra yards.
A new set of downs for the Raiders. Stabler works out of the shotgun against a 4-man front. Stabler has all day to throw and finds Art Powell on the reception for a gain of 3.
All day to throw and then some, Danny. Green Bay's going to have to dial up some pressure, get Stabler out of his rhythm.
Art Powell, staple for Tom Flores' Raiders team as a quarterback. Super Bowl champion of 2 seasons. Henry Jordan makes the stop on Marcus Allen to set up 3rd and 4.
First run play for the Raiders sets up this 3rd down.
Packers have 4 on the line. Tim Brown goes in motion, and Stabler looks to the air, slipping on the Lambeau Field turf, and he finds Tim Brown over the middle, enough for a Raider first down.
Green Bay's got to get some pressure. Stabler has all year to throw. You cannot let a guy like that get comfortable in the pocket.
From the 16. Raiders in a run formation. They like to run the ball here with Marcus Allen, and that only yields to the line of scrimmage.
Good job by the Packers defense. Putting the clamp down on the run game. They're going to try and make them one-dimensional.
On 2nd and 10. And Josh Jacobs gets the call for only a yard.
Fred Carr came right off the edge, untouched, blows that play up, and puts the Raiders in a 3rd and long for the first time.
They send 3 receivers to the left of the formation. Stabler looks to the air and throws to the end zone. Fred Biletnikoff for the touchdown.
Just a little late getting over there. They are going to say it's a touchdown, but Jair Alexander was just a little bit late getting over there on defense. Gave just that small window. That's all Stabler needed to find his man. And
the connection was able to give the Raiders a championship in Super Bowl 11, the only title for John Madden. Extra point up and good from Janikowski, and the Raiders lead 7-0 with a touchdown on their opening drive. Fred Biletnikoff, the hero of Super Bowl 11, also Hall of Famer. Both ends of the equation. Tremonti Williams on the return, and he only gets as far as a 16. That brings on to the field the Green Bay Packer offense and Brett Favre.
Yeah, we talked about Stabler. Brett Favre, he's different. He's going to take those shots. He's going to put the ball in danger, but you can see by his numbers already this season, so far, it's paying off more than it's hurting him. 13 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Brett Favre took over for Aaron Rodgers, who got injured against the Rams this season. First play of the game for the Packers. Favre throws, caught by Davante Adams, and the former Raider out past midfield to the 45.
There's a nice strike, and that's one where Favre didn't have to go down the field too much. That's Davante Adams doing his thing, great route runner, and making a man miss for those extra yaks.
Willie Brown was beaten on the coverage, and the Packers, one play, 39 yards for a first down. Jim Taylor up the middle. He loses the football, and it's picked up by Ted Hendricks. He's downed at the 33.
Can't give the Raiders extra possessions. You got to hold that ball. It looked like Green Bay was just going to march right down the field, but that big hit coming in knocked that ball loose, and now the Raiders offense right back out on the field.
No surprise, Jack Tatum with the hit on Taylor, who fumbled last week against the Giants that set up the game-winning field goal. Allen, he's near the 40. Talk about great runs in NFL history. Marcus Allen running one away against Washington, going the other way for a 74-yard score. Truly one of the finest plays you could ever come up with in Super Bowl history. Here he is again. And he's got another first down for Oakland.
You're seeing the difference right now, Danny. The Raiders playing to the whistle. Allen just keeps those legs churning, ends up picking up the first down despite being hit a couple yards short.
1:40 to go in quarter number 1. Look out.
False start, offense, first down.
The Raiders up a little bit.
So, from 1st and 10 to 1st and 15 for Oakland. The Snake works out of the shotgun. He looks to the air and throws, knocked down, incomplete. Look at standings of the AFC, and it is tightly contested. The Raiders are in the 7th spot, just outside of the playoff picture. Speaks to the importance of this game. Fake to Jacobs, throw to Dave Casper for a short gain, and the Ghost slow to get up. 3rd and 11. Stabler to the air. Great protection. He finds Tim Brown, but he is short of the first down by a yard.
Decision time. Did the Raiders go for it? There's your answer.
They send on the punt unit. Punt formation for Shane Leckler, who gets it away. And Leckler's driving punt, heads out of bounds at the 14, and the Packers get the ball back after a fumble on their opening drive.
Good stop defensively for Green Bay. Now can the offense get back in a groove?
They found their groove first with Davante Adams on the first play from scrimmage, and this time they find James Lofton for a first down.
So many weapons for the Packers. It's just, you can't really dial in on one guy. You got to respect all 5 weapons out there.
Final seconds of the opening stanza. Favre's pass is tipped in the air and incomplete.
Talks about Green Bay they can't allow the Raiders those extra possessions. Well, the Raiders got to take advantage when Green Bay does give them the chance, and that's a missed opportunity right there.
Brief look at the Hall of Fame receivers and tailbacks for the Packers, and there are plenty of them. Not to mention Don Hudson, 99 touchdowns in his career. Favre on 2nd and 10 is buried. Tracked down in the backfield by Rod Martin. Look at that Raiders defense, and you talk about tenacious, dirty. This Raiders defense has it. So that concludes the first quarter with a score. The Raiders 7, Packers no score. Start of the second quarter. From Green Bay, the all-time Raiders leading the all-time Packers 7-0. Danny Bach alongside Matthew King. Coverage here from Lambeau. Favre has time. He throws. Incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Jack Tatum.
Had to force that one a little bit. The Raiders had it covered. Great defense by the Raiders.
Punt formation for the Packers. Daniel Whalen on to punt for Green Bay. He gets it towards Tim Brown on the return. And he advances as far as midfield for Oakland.
Great starting field position for the Raiders. Want to see them establish the run a little bit more. Really make the Packers have to honor both aspects of the offense.
Shotgun for the Snake. He'll throw on first down. Great protection. His pass is incomplete. Nearly caught by Bo Jackson.
Nearly picked, nearly caught. It was a ping pong ball out there.
2nd and 10. Stabler, a delay. Marcus Allen has the first down for Oakland.
Nice little draw there, getting Allen that extra little bit of space. Get the Packers out of their rhythm, not anticipating the run there.
On 1st and 10 in Green Bay territory. Stabler throws one, knocked down, incomplete.
Defense there. I think that was Jair Alexander who got his hand on that one.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders. They try to inch closer to Sebastian Janikowski, field goal range. Stabler sets up the screen. Bo Jackson lost the football, and it's picked up by the Packers. Forrester, he escapes to midfield. Forrester to the 30, and nobody will catch Forrester. A scoop and score for the Packers.
Again, they just kept him up, and Bill Forrester, I'm not sure if he was the one who stripped it, but he was right there to scoop it up, and he was off to the races. This time it's the Packers playing to the whistle, and they cash in, get that defensive touchdown. That really gives them momentum.
Bill Forrester, who was on the early stages of Vince Lombardi's championship Packers with a scoop and score, and we are evened up at 7. Here's the kickoff from Crosby. And Tim Brown takes a knee in the end zone for a touchback. And talk about the Raiders trying to establish the run, but then Bo Jackson with the fumble, and game has completely subsided.
Both teams have turned the ball over. Now it's like you're back to square one.
And they start with Marcus Allen, and that goes nowhere. Henry Jordan on the stop.
This defensive front is just eating for the Packers right now. On the run game, they cannot get any pressure on Stabler, but they're shutting down the run.
5 Hall of Famers are part of that defensive line for the Packers. Marcus Allen, and he breaks out of the first wave before he reaches the line of scrimmage. Fred Carr there again.
Nice defense by Carr to clean that up. 3rd down and long once again for the Raiders, but this is where they've had success buying Stabler some time.
2 tailbacks in the backfield, which includes Bo Jackson. Stabler hit and sacked. Dan Hanner. And that sets up 4th down.
David Hanner doing a great job of cleaning up the miss sack there.
Leckler gets it away. And this booming kick fielded by Willie Wood on the return. He breaks through the first wave, sets up Green Bay in plus territory. So the Packers offense, their farthest penetration through the Raiders defense yielded a fumble from that man, Jim Taylor, and he picks up 3 before Howie Long brings him down.
They really haven't had many opportunities on the offensive end, have the Packers.
You have the touchdown from the long pass to Devontae Adams that led to the fumble from Taylor. Here's Favre to throw. Paul Kaufman makes the catch for 2 yards, sets up 3rd down.
Quick little strike there, and right now the Packers are having success running and throwing the ball. That makes things that much tougher for the defense.
Raiders bring 3 to the line. Kaufman in motion. Favre, deep ball towards the end zone. It is incomplete. 4th down on the way.
That's where his arm's almost too strong that time. Sailed that one, and it's going to result in the punt.
If there's anyone that does have an arm, it's that man. Daniel Whalen gets it away. Spiraling kick that heads into the end zone for a touchback. 3:42 left in the first half. Another chance for the Raiders to go to work after the fumble and the scoop and score to tie the game. 3:42 left in the first half. Stabler to the air. His pass over the middle. Cliff Branch with the catch and a 1st down for Oakland.
Some big hits from both these defenses. You got to tuck that ball and make sure you're not fumbling. We've already seen both teams kind of pop one loose.
3:10 to go in the first half. Stabler works out of the shotgun, and he'll give Marcus Allen. Picks up a gain of 3.
He's hurt.
And
someone was hurt.
That's Jim Otto, the center for the Raiders. Injured on the play. 2nd and 7. Uh-oh.
Another penalty.
Second one called against the Raiders today.
2 penalties and a turnover. That's a tough break for the Raiders.
On 2nd and 12, Stabler looks to throw. His pass is caught by Branch near midfield. Enough for a Raider first down.
They're finding the soft spots in the Packers zone right now. The Packers got to close those up. I want to see them go to a little bit more man coverage.
A new set of downs. Raymond Chester goes in motion. Stabler to the air. His pass caught by Brown. He's to the 26.
I keep saying that the Raiders need to establish the run game, not when Stabler's throwing the ball like this. Just let that arm loose.
2-minute warning here in Green Bay. Stabler backs up and throws. Fred Biletnikoff for a short gain. Raiders call their first timeout.
Don't want to leave the Packers any time, though, themselves to respond.
On 2nd and 7, the pitch, Bo Jackson. Short gain of 4 yards, sets up 3rd and 3.
Gets the call. Gain of 4.
Against a 5-man Green Bay front, they give to Jacobs, and he goes nowhere. Field goal unit trots on Sebastian Janikowski on for a 34-yard field goal attempt. Now the hold of Darryl LaMonica, and Janikowski splits the uprights, and the Raiders reclaim the lead. 1:38 to go in the first half here from Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
Just one timeout for the Packers, though, on this drive.
Herb Adderley on the return, and Adderley past the 20 to the 21. Now, what are you looking to see from this Green Bay offense trailing late in the half?
I mean, you're going to see Brett Favre just air this one out, but look for them to go a little bit more with those intermediate routes, try and get this drive going a little bit.
Remember, Green Bay gets the ball to start the second half. Favre guns one. Ron Kramer, the tight end, for 3.
Downs as well, stops the clock.
They keep one timeout in their back pocket. The Raiders do have 2. Here's Favre to the air. He'll go deep down the field, and the pass is caught. Don Hudson, touchdown Packers.
That's the last thing the Raiders want to do. You can't let someone sneak by you because Brett Favre, while it's a risky throw at this stage of the game, he'll still take that shot, roll the dice every time, and he dropped one in the bucket to Hudson, who just blew by the defense. A big play for the Packers, and they take the lead. First lead of the game.
Beat Jack Tatum. Hudson, a 76-yard touchdown. Extra point from Crosby. Splits the uprights. And the Packers with, as you mentioned, Matthew, their first lead thanks to Don Hudson.
His first catch as well. And good things happen when you get Don Hudson the football.
Main staple for the Packers in the 30s, the 40s, multiple championship teams. Additionally, Clem Daniels as far as the 23, and now pendulum shifts to the Raiders. Now you have to look at maybe scoring points late in the half.
They still have 2 timeouts. That's the good news for the Raiders on this drive.
In motion goes Casper. Stabler looks and throws, and the pass is caught by Tim Brown. Near the sideline, the officials do deem it to be a catch.
Again, it's the second read for Stabler that's coming open. That initial play, the Packers doing a good job of slowing it down, but he's got so much time back there.
Against a 3-man Packer front. Stabler, he has time. Kenny Stabler throws towards the sideline, and this time incompletion to Fred Biletnikoff.
They're going to review this. It looked to me like he might have gotten both feet down there.
As they continue to look, let's see it again.
There's plenty of space there. Hopefully he didn't just lose track of where he was on the field. No, that toe's close.
And they rule it to be a catch.
It was tight.
Officials, they looked at it. They got it right. That's one of the benefits of those booth reviews. 1:05 to go in the half. Allen to the 35.
Second timeout used by the Raiders. Just one left with 61 seconds left in the half.
Still got the middle of the field to work with if you're Kenny Stabler. He'll throw down the field. Open is Biletnikoff for the touchdown.
That's a breakdown by the Packers defense and let Biletnikoff wide open behind everybody. That's just a pitch and catch for 6.
We've seen this combination many a times. Fred Biletnikoff streaking by Jair Alexander again. He has not had a good day. But credit the Raiders speedsters. Janikowski adds the extra point, and Oakland takes the lead late in the half.
Still 56 seconds. It didn't take the Packers that long to score on their last drive. We'll see what Brett Favre can dial up. And again, they still get the ball to start the second half.
How about 2 touchdown catches for Fred Biletnikoff in the game? Here's for Herb Adderley on the return. Past the 20, Adderley to the 21.
Not much space there on the return. He's going to stay down after this one. Hopefully he's all right. Seen some injuries here in the first half.
It's been a physical game, something you would expect between both the Raiders and the Packers, considering their prestigious histories in rough and tough football. Here's Favre dancing in the pocket and going down the field. It's caught by Lofton inside the 40.
Once again, breakdown on defense, and James Lofton this time is the recipient of the big play. The Packers, they're hitting some big strikes right now. That Raiders secondary got to tighten things up.
43 seconds left in the half. Favre, clean pocket. He'll throw one into the dirt.
Took a shot as he was getting ready to let go and made the smart decision of just taking that one right into the turf.
38 seconds left in the half. Favre works out of the shotgun. On second down, he finds Hudson for 6. And the Packers hurry to line of scrimmage on 3rd and 4. Big play here. Favre, he'll throw. Picked off! Old man Willie Brown down the sideline. And Willie Brown has himself inside the 5 and a touchdown.
Disaster for the Packers. You were going to hit a little chip shot field goal, worst case scenario, and going to the half, tie it up. Now you're going to be down 2 possessions. That one was just telegraphed, and Willie Brown saw it the entire way, and you weren't catching him once he picked that one off.
Old man Willie, and a touchdown for the Raiders. Janikowski's extra point is good. Oakland leads it by 10 late in the half. Willie Brown, who had a pick 6 in Super Bowl 11, takes the Brett Favre pass in for 6. A seismic pick by Brown. Adderley out to the 20 with 13 seconds left, and Vince Lombardi and the Packers will have their work cut out for them. They'll keep it on the ground. Amon Green. That will run out the first half. Oakland, a 24-14 lead over Green Bay as we head into break. After this, on Charger Dude 95. Start of the second half. Oakland Raiders leading the all-time Packers 24-14. Here's the kickoff from Janikowski. Midst of a driving rainstorm, Tramon Williams on the return, and he gets as far as the 20. Now, if you're the gunslinger Brett Favre, you have had many comebacks during the course of your career, and you need another one. And tough task against this Raider team. They begin from the 20, and Aaron Jones gets the call. Jack Tatum with the stop after a pickup of 4.
First time we called Aaron Jones' name. He can be a home run hitter out of the backfield. So the Packers just trying to get that explosive offense going again.
2nd and 6 as we start the second half. Favre to the air again. Brett Favre finds James Lofton underneath.
Number 4.
Sets up third down for Green Bay.
Gain of 2.
Raiders send 4 to the line. 3 receivers in the formation for the Packers. Southern Mississippi quarterback Brett Favre. He'll look down the middle, and the pass is incomplete.
Favre having a tough day. He's either hitting home runs or he's making some bad decisions and some balls that should be intercepted. He's going to have to clean that up if he wants to bring the Packers back in this one.
Daniel Whalen on to punt for Green Bay, and he sends one away. Raiders to get the football back. Tim Brown on the return all the way to the 38. So now the Raiders, you're in a good spot. You have a 10-point lead. Well, you mentioned it, that running the football could be a benefit. Now would seem like to be a good time. And they will throw instead. Stabler off his back foot finds Todd Christensen for 7.
That was a really tough throw for Stabler, but he was able to flip those hips enough, get enough on that pass, and get a nice chunk of 7 there.
2nd and 3. Tim Brown in motion. The pitch to Marcus Allen. The Packers defense reads the play.
This run defense for the Packers is dominating. They just got to find a way to also get pressure on Stabler.
On 3rd and 6. Stabler back to throw. Stabler finds Christensen, another first down for the Raiders.
Packers brought an extra rusher that time, still couldn't get home. This Raiders offensive line deserves a ton of credit for how well they've kept their quarterback upright.
Raiders going toe-to-toe with one of the favorites for the Dream Bowl this year. Stabler finds Raymond Chester for a gain of 3. Officials do deem a reception. And that brings up 2nd down for the Raiders, already in Packer territory. Have to imagine you have to stop the Raiders offense if you're Green Bay. Marcus Allen gets a good chunk of yardage for 5.
Interesting play call coming up for the Raiders here. You've had a tough time running the football, but you just need a yard.
On 3rd down, they run it. Allen is stopped. The rush caved in for the Packers on defense. Ray Nitschke was there. And now Sebastian Janikowski on for what is a 58-yard field goal attempt, and it's wide to the right.
Just pulled that enough, and that stop goes to Bill Forrester. He was in there to clean up that tackle, force the 4th down. He's had a tremendous game. Obviously, the big fumble recovery for a touchdown as well.
So the Packers take over on offense with 3:11 to go in the 3rd. With Jones in the backfield, Favre throws deep down the field, and the pass is incomplete.
Too far towards the sideline. That might have actually benefited the Packers because good coverage on the back end for the Raiders.
2nd and 10. Favre looks to the air and fires. It is caught by Hudson inside the 25 to the 22.
Hudson, he's not getting many catches, just 3 of them, but when he does touch the ball, good things are happening. Over 100 yards now on offense for Hudson in this ball game.
Over half of the passing yardage has gone to that man, Don Hudson. You set it down to the Packers. Jim Taylor doesn't fumble this time, but he does lose a yard thanks to Rod Martin.
And to fight hard just to get to that -1. He was hit a couple yards in the backfield.
With 2:05 to go in the 3rd. Favre all day to throw. Hill fired to the end zone. Knocked down, incomplete.
Another dangerous pass by Brett Favre. Got to get a little bit more touch on that one, a little bit more air to drop it into the back.
We've said that a couple of times over the course of his career. 3rd and 11. Favre hit as he throws. It is caught! James Lofton, touchdown Packers.
Took a shot as he let go of that ball, but a great catch by Lofton. And just like that, we're a PAT away from a 3-point game, Danny. Buckle up.
Green Bay giving Oakland all they can handle. And the extra point from Crosby right down the middle. And a 3-point game with 1:53 to go in the 3rd. James Lofton was a part of the most offensive Packers team in history. 1983 team that went 9-7 and missed the playoffs, oddly enough. Tim Brown down at the 14.
Right now it feels like the Packers have seized momentum. They're still behind, but this is a big drive for the Raiders. You got to maybe kill the rest of this third quarter, kind of quiet that momentum down.
From the 14. Chester in motion. The give to Allen. And he goes nowhere. The Green Bay defense responding.
He just flew in like it was nothing. This defense flying around to stop the run.
2nd and 9 for the Raiders. Stabler. His pass is picked off. Barnett. Down to the 3.
Just call his name on the last play. Makes his first tackle. Now he gets the pick. And the Packers are knocking on the door of the goal line to take the lead back. How about this defensive second half, the adjustments for the Packers?
Nick Barnett with the interception. 1st and goal, Green Bay. Amon Green stacked and stopped at the line. Rod Martin was there for Oakland.
The Raiders can pin their ears back and just worry about the run. That defensive front can be ferocious themselves.
2nd and goal. The pitch. Green. He is marked down at the 2.
Packers don't have to snap this ball before the end of the quarter, but when they do, it's going to be interesting to see if they throw it or try and run it in one last time.
On 3rd and goal, Green, touchdown! Mon Green with a Lambeau leap to give the Packers the lead.
I know that it wasn't a pick six, but that's the 3rd time a defensive play has immediately set up a touchdown. Each team has a touchdown on defense, and then that pick by Barnett setting up the short yardage, and Green Bay pounds it in with Amon Green.
Note the block from Forrest Gregg. The extra point is good. Green Bay is in the lead, 28-24 with 3 seconds to go in the 3rd. Amon Green was steady throughout his career. 98-yard touchdown in 2003 against Denver. It was a momentous day for Green Bay. That's when they clinched the playoff spot. What a hit on the return. And that's an emphatic way for the 3rd end. We go to the 4th for the score. Green Bay 28, Oakland 24. Start of the 4th quarter from Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Danny Buck alongside Matthew King from one of the most heralded grounds in the NFL, Lambeau Field. Bo Jackson ridden down ferociously in the backfield.
Raiders cannot establish the run, and that's going to make things really tough here in the 4th quarter on them.
Leroy Caffey made the stop for the green and gold. Stabler hit as he throws. Marcus Allen with the catch. He's as far as the 21.
A little screen by the Raiders as the Packers brought the blitz. We haven't seen that from either side in this ball game.
3rd and 5. Stabler to the air rush coming. He's sacked. Willie Davis.
The Packers bring the pressure when the lights are the brightest, and this defense has dominated the second half.
Shane Leckler comes on to punt for Oakland. Now the Raiders defense needs to make a stand. Here's Willie Wood. And he's as far as the 48.
Got a gunslinger like Brett Favre, but right now it should just be about running the football for the Packers. Try and kill some time. Maybe take a shot on 3rd down.
Do have Clark Hinkle, Jim Taylor obviously, faked Amon Green, the throw to Clark Hinkle, and he's got a 1st down for the Packers.
I like that play call. Everyone was anticipating the run. Hinkle just slides out into the flat and ends up getting 10 out of it.
6 minutes left in the game. Favre from the shotgun. Brett Favre gives to Jim Taylor, and he's stopped by Rod Martin again.
The Packers still need to get a few more yards to get inside field goal range where they'll feel good about getting this lead up to 7 at least.
And to maintain a 1.5 game lead on the Bears, Favre goes deep towards the end zone, and the pass is caught! And Watson did not make the catch.
It looks like that would have been good in college, not good here in the NFL. That was a good home run opportunity, but now the Packers' big third down here.
Do they keep it on the ground? They do. Aaron Jones lunging, and he is close.
This is going to be tight.
He is short. And the Packers, with a decision to make on 4th and inches, they bring on Mason Crosby. 44-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is no good.
Pushed it just a little bit, and that's a big miss. And all of a sudden, the rest of this half doesn't matter. It's all about this drive for the Raiders offense.
Drama building here from Lambeau. With 4:42 left in the game, Stabler hit as he throws. Caught by Jackson. He'll lose 4. And injured Packer stops play with 4:37 left. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stabler to the air. He'll run. Ken Stabler back to the line of scrimmage. Guess who? Making the stop.
No gain on the play.
Has had a monster second half for the Packers and a 3rd and long now for the Raiders.
Oakland looking to stay on the field. Stabler, rush coming, deep ball throw. Stabler's pass is incomplete. He was looking for Art Powell.
Too many green jerseys around there, but you got to take that shot if you're Stabler. Now it's back onto the Raiders defense.
They already made 1 stop. Field goal miss from Crosby. This is Willie Wood on the punt return, and he is mauled at the 30. Lester Hayes, tackle on special teams. Can the Raiders defense force just 1 more stop? Favre on 1st down. His pass is caught. Sterling Sharp. That moves the chains, and the clock continues to tick with 3:20 to go.
Raiders still have all 3 timeouts.
On 1st down, the give to Amon Green, and he picks up minimal gain of 4.
Gain of 5.
Raiders use their first timeout. 2nd and 6. Turn a hand to Amon Green, and he's buried. Chester McLaughlin on the stop.
And they don't use a timeout. Interesting call here. Do the Packers try and air it out, get that 1st down, or they want to keep the clock rolling?
Raiders have a 4-man front. Do they bring the house? Play clock down to 3. Favre turns. Aaron Jones, and he did not make it. Raiders will get the football back.
Use a timeout, so they're going to still have that 2-minute warning to help them out as well.
Punt formation, Daniel Whalen gets it away. And this kick heads into the end zone for a touchback.
Just a little bit heavy on that one. That was almost perfect.
This is where dreams are made. 2:15 to go. Stabler, he will run, and he is clocked. Dave Robinson.
I haven't seen Stabler run too much. He's ran twice, and he's paid for it both times.
2-minute warning. Raiders looking for a come-from-behind drive. Place that Kenny Stabler has been very familiar with, and he throws a pass for Devontae Adams, who picks up the 1st down.
More importantly, gets out of bounds, stops the clock, and moves the chains.
Raiders in the midst of the AFC wildcard chase. Green Bay looking for potentially the number 1 seed in the NFC. Stabler scans the field. Great protection. His pass is caught by Adams, but dropped.
Stabler was able to put air under that, but it allowed the Packers defense to get over there and knock that ball loose right after it hit Adams' hands.
Lambeau Field at a frenzy. 2nd and 10. Stabler, his pass, caught by Adams again. This time, he picks up 8, inbounds, 3rd and 2. Oakland hurries to the line. Stabler will throw. His pass knocked down, incomplete, and it comes down to this. Fred Biletnikoff, intended receiver, has caught 2 touchdowns today. But it's do or die here. 4th and 2 for the Raiders. Brown in motion. Stabler will throw. Stabler knocked down, incomplete.
Had a man open in the flat. That would have been an easy pitch and catch for a first down, but he was just dialed in down the middle of the field, and the Packers closed that one off.
Tim Brown had it and lost it. Pure drop. Alexander had the coverage.
Tough day for Jair, and he comes up big there.
And that will do it. The Green Bay Packers hold on in a thriller. They outlast the all-time Oakland Raiders 35-24 in a thriller from Lambeau. Look at some of the great highlights today, and Matthew King, we saw ourselves one heck of a football game.
We saw the adjustments that the Packers made. They pitched a shutout in the second half. That defense did a tremendous job of shutting down the Raiders' run game. It really made them one-dimensional, and then the offense was able to make some big plays along Green, that big touchdown. Packers just a well-balanced effort. It was the adjustments on defense that won them this ball game.
And looking forward, this puts the Raiders in a difficult position, the wild card hunt. But for Green Bay, they show why they are one of the best teams in the league. Look at it. Once again, that drop from Tim Brown. Alexander came through with a knockdown. That will do it. Green Bay defeats Oakland 35-24 for all of us who charge you 95. For Matthew King, I'm Danny Box saying so long and take care. Packers win it 35-24.